What is going on, everybody? We're here. We're live. It's Wednesday night. I feel like YouTube's being a little bit weird today. I feel like my stream, like the pickup is like freezing a little bit. I don't know what's going on. It's like it won't even let me type in the chat. Like it'll let me type, but it won't let me pin my message and shit. I don't know what's going on YouTube. Little hiccup over on YouTube. But as always, we're live over on YouTube and over on Rumble. Maybe it's StreamYard's fault. It's not. I mean, my internet seems fine right now. So I don't know what the fuck is going on. But, you know, just like life, we're going to have to fucking deal with it. I'm going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to deal with it. We're going to have to deal with people with Tourettes. We're going to have to deal with black people freaking out over people with Tourettes. We're going to have to deal with woke white women coming to the defense of all the black people out there in the entire world. Thank you, Grace Randolph. Thank you for solving racism, Grace. Thank you for contributing to the constructive conversation. Thank you for defeating racism by bullying people with mental conditions. Thank you so much. We truly do need you. We appreciate it. Grace Randolph, you are just so stunning and brave. My gosh. Thank you. What would we ever do without woke white women in the world? I don't know. Let me know if you guys are having any issues with YouTube, because I don't know exactly what the fuck's going on today. If anybody else is having problems with it or what. But let me try it again. Now that the stream started, let me see if I can type this. Hello. Is that even showing up in the chat for you guys when I type hello? I don't know. It feels like there's something wrong with the YouTube chat. I'm not going to lie. It feels like something weird is going on. Because I just typed something, hit enter, yet it's just like disappeared. So I'm not sure. If you are out there, we just started the stream. Just you put L in the chat. Put L in the chat for Grace Randolph. Try that. Put L in the chat for Grace Randolph and see. I see some like red emojis. I see some red emojis coming through. I see one from Bradley. Yeah, there's no hello for the chat for you guys. Like, I see it, but you guys can't see it. It's very strange. 1ZW. Don't put a W. L. All right, I'll take that, L. Well, he's got some emojis going on. It seems like something is going on. I think there's something wrong with the YouTube chat. But over on the Rumble side, I see Happy Camper, Ronan, Stephen Strange, Complete Random. Thank you, guys. All right, at least we got some stuff coming. I don't know. There's something mysterious, but that's all right. We'll say hi to the people who are here. Soundwave Superior, Mr. Friendly, Paper Ligers, Air to D Empire, Rombo, Tim F, There Were Three, Alex Arrow Cave, Hey Would You Blow Me, Marco, Zero, Tommy Campari, Brandon, Day, Bradley, Scott, Little Orphan, Funkhauser, Hugo, Bro, Hugo is here, Naruto the Seventh, Dumb Old Bear, Ryan Charlton, The Can Man, El Engaresh as broken on the YouTube. Raging Rhinos here. There is something strange going on. Something doesn't feel right. I wonder if I can make a poll. Could I even start a poll? What is going on with YouTube? Can I do that? It's just a yes/no question. What is going on with YouTube? Yes, no. Anthony, that's the first message the second message that I've seen from you. But like, I can't type in my own chat. What if I type like this? Hold on. We're doing some We're going to do some testing here. What if I use my phone to type? What if I use my phone to type? My channel. Oh, it doesn't even have the little circle around me saying I'm live right now, which is strange. Hello. Okay. I can type from my phone. Yeah, some people aren't able to send super chats. There's something weird going on. English broken in Espanol. I mean, I don't have mine in Spanish. What the fuck? Bearda had bro science and it was being weird. See, like, can you guys see my comments that I just made in chat? I just put 2 comments in chat. And I don't think you guys can see it. I promise you I did. Hold on. I promise you I did. So you can see right there, I said hello. But you guys don't see it. All right. So it's all right. My gut feeling was correct. There's something fucked up with YouTube's chat. All right. Just so we know. So there might be a lot of people who are commenting that they think they're commenting, but no one can actually see you. So I'm sorry. I don't know. It's not my fault. I didn't do it. Wasn't me. Jeremy, clearly the super chats are working for Jeremy, who says Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni is in the thumbnail, Jeremy, because we're going to talk about that fat, lispy fucking queer. We're going to talk about. A lot of people enjoyed our Dave Filoni argument. For some reason, even though it's not the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth time that it's ever happened, but a lot of people enjoyed it nonetheless. So, yes, Dave Filoni's in there because, well, one, Disney's apparently very, very scared about Mandalorian and Grogu at the box office, as they should be. But also, there's a story out there about Katie Sackhoff and Bo-Katan and why her character's safe and never going to die. It's because she's based on Dave Filoni's wife. I wish I was kidding. I wish I was making it up. But unfortunately, I'm not. TGV Monster for $2, not 2 ducks. 2 ducks, not bad. Ryan, hi. Hello, TGV Monster. Stephen De Leon, fuck the Bears. Buffalo Bills rule all. Shout out West Texas. Yeah, look, there's problems with the super chats, apparently. Some people can't send anything. Well, look, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure why it's so messed up. But what I will say is if you guys do want to donate, you can. The first link in the description should be the Streamlabs, and that one should work. Also, you're free to watch over on Rumble as well, because it looks like Rumble chat is working fine. So, you know, there's Gary. Gary says, hello. Gary, we're going to talk about you today. I mean, kind of. We're going to talk about Grace Randolph. We're going to talk about Grace Randolph, which means we're going to talk about Gary. Grace Randolph. Bro, what a big win she got yesterday, huh? Have you guys seen the ratio on her YouTube channel? Have you seen the ratio? This will just be a preview of the very long segment we have on Grace Randolph soon. Have you guys seen this? 4.5 thousand dislikes to 1.4 thousand likes. That is rough, Grace. But thank you to you, for leading such a constructive discussion about Tourette's. No one is better equipped to handle the discussion of mental disabilities than Grace fucking Randolph. Thank God that black people have a savior like Grace Randolph. My God, what would you do? What would you do without Grace? We all need to give each other a little grace every once in a while, right? Today's not that day. That's basically every other take that Grace Randolph has, is when we give her grace. Not for this one, I don't think. Not for this one. Vlad the Man for 199 says, hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Chinese. Wait, they did the hello parody, right? Hurrah. I'm Chinese. Thank you, Vlad the Man. Jim from San Diego, $2 for fuck's sake. Thanks, Jim from San Diego. Would not be good if your ego's got Sandy. John Cadena says Somali pirates. Is that what we're going to blame for YouTube being all fucked? Sounds good. I mean, I'm just as soon to blame Somali pirates as anybody else. 0 for 2 special character test tax. What the fuck, man? YouTube just decides to, bend over and take a shit, basically. And that's fine. Deeds, Minnesota. What's up, Deeds? With a gifted subscription over on the Rumble side. Thank you very much, Deeds. Appreciate it. You're awesome. Glad you're doing well. Glad you're doing well. Master Austin doesn't say anything, but with his badass profile picture, gives $20. Thank you very much, Master Austin. Shout out to you. Thank you. Doesn't say anything. Not a damn thing to say. AD the Demon Slayer. Oh no, tried to send a $500 super chat, but YouTube won't let me. Damn it. Is that it? They put a cap limit on it, right? They put a cap limit. That must be it. That's the only explanation for what's going on. The only explanation. Thank you, AD, for the 5. I'll take 1% of that. Rombo. Just a Kang emote from Rombo. Member for 3 months. It's been a while since I busted out the headdress, huh? It's been a while since I busted out the headdress. Smeg's Head. Not Smeg's Head. Smegheads with a gifted membership. Thank you, Smegheads. Who got it? Yeah, it was the only thing that sent. Yeah, there's just. Oh, B Buster got it. There's just something strange going on. John Wayne for $5. Fook useless YouTube employees trying to justify their jobs by continually mucking with the code. This is what I will say. It's frustrating when anything fucks up. When Rumble has problems, it's frustrating. When YouTube has problems, it's frustrating. Whatever. Like that. What I will say is, considering the sheer amount of users and data and fucking things that are stored on servers and everything, the fact that YouTube doesn't have more problems like on a day-to-day basis is kind of shocking. I'm not talking about, a channel getting deleted or an AI bot claiming this thing. I'm talking about like it's just down and dead, considering how much shit is on there. But yes, thank you, John Wayne. David Smart Jr. Ryan, who would you rock? Billie Eilish or Alyssa Milano? I mean, that's a weird question, but Billie Eilish seems kind of gross. I'm not going to lie. Alyssa Milano's pretty fucking old. Back in the day, when I was younger, where I watched Charmed just to see what fucking low-cut outfit Alyssa Milano was going to appear in. Okay? So, Alyssa Milano back in the day. Now, this is before TDS made her hair start falling out or whatever the fuck happened. So if you're telling me that, the truth is neither. I ain't rocking either of them. But if you're giving me if like I have to pick one from these hypotheticals, what the fuck did I just close? Dang it! What just got closed? One of the things I actually need today, of course. Everything's fucking up today. Robert Hayes with some angry, yelling, devil screaming emotes. Yeah, it's that kind of fucking stream already, isn't it, Robert? Working class Ronin. Sion killed Tony last Monday. 125-45. Rough interview at the end, but funny. Me? I mean, I wish that I was on Kill Tony for some reason, but no, that was not me, you witness. Maybe it's a lookalike. I'll have to check out about an hour and 25 minutes in. But thank you, working class Ronan. Grace Randolph's gay hitman for 2. Tell Gary, I'm coming for him. Did Grace put out a hit? Is that what we're saying? We can't be too crazy with the Grace Randolph jokes because she's going to take everything so fucking seriously. She's going to take everything so fucking seriously. A nerdrotic fan told me that they were going to kill him for me. Should we just start with Grace? Requires a little setup, but I do think that it's worth it in the end. I do think that it would be worth it in the end. Make sure I've got all these things pulled up. I hope that Perry Chan's edit of Grace Randolph is copyright approved. Because we're going to play it. So if it's not, then, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. El chat funciona en español. Chat works in Spanish, says Cordwainer. Well, I mean, if more people knew Spanish, that might help. It would have also maybe helped us understand the fucking halftime show. But honestly, based on all the people that I know who speak Spanish, most of them couldn't even fucking understand it. Even people from Puerto Rico were bitching about it. Even people from Puerto Rico were bitching about the Bad Bunny halftime show, which I guess should tell you something. Maybe stop trying to reach a different audience there, NFL. Stick to the people who actually watch it to begin with. ¿Dónde está la casa de Pepe? I don't know. YouTube outlawed. Oh, this is backlash to Trump's stance on illegal immigrants. YouTube has banned English. It is only Spanish from now on. That must be the case. That must be the case, Cordwainer. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Let's see if this works. YouTube rejected your comment. Yeah, what the fuck? It's very strange. Is that the thing that worked? I typed in Spanish, where is the bathroom? And I'm pretty sure it went through. What the fuck? So right before that, I typed hello and it rejected it. Holy shit. Wonder if I just do that, if it'll take it. No, it won't. Bro, what? How fucking crazy. I can pin that, I guess. I pinned, where's the fucking bathroom? Did the link work? All right, the link worked. There we go. What the fuck? Hola, jefe. El cartel. Yo también estoy. Holy shit. Where's the fucking bathroom? It's Grace Randolph's channel. Well, you guys want to chat in Spanish and try to trick me? You're all for it. All for it. All right. Let's get to this story. This is a story that's dominated headlines for some strange reason. The story that has dominated the entertainment industry for the past few days, ironically, did happen at an award show for a bunch of movies, but only one movie is being talked about, and it's because of what happened there. Because a man with Tourette's, whose life has been so terrible and miserable and complicated and complex that they made a movie about his life to try to help people understand the struggle, the journey, his history, and how hard it is to live with Tourette's. He went to the BAFTAs. And because they invited a man with Tourette's, something that happens when people have Tourette's happen at the BAFTAs. And he screamed the N-word while two black people were on stage, specifically Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo.
Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making. We're here.
Now, this was not the only outburst that man had that night. He had multiple outbursts, upwards of 10 throughout the entire ceremony. And when it did get to be too much, he would remove himself from the situation and actually leave everybody. Now, he didn't realize the mic could pick that up. A lot of people didn't realize the mic could pick that up. Nevertheless, that is what we got. And we witnessed an absolutely insane meltdown from a lot of black people, but also from some woke white people who desperately needed to claim that the man with Tourette's thought it and he's racist and that's why it happened and something needs to be done about this person. I will not give you the entire laundry list of all these tweets, just a handful of some of the most insane ones. So disgusting. I can't believe they had to stand there and take that. He better issue a public apology. Tourette's isn't an excuse to be racist. Tourette's syndrome doesn't make you just call black actors winning awards the N-word. This is just overt racism. Call it what it is. Luckily, almost every single one of these things has been community noted because this is actually how Tourette's works. This is actually how this disease, this condition, this disability, that's actually how it works. It makes you say essentially the most taboo things that could ever be thought in the moment. It doesn't mean that that's what you think. It doesn't mean that's what's in your heart. And this, what I'm shocked by is I thought this was common sense to everybody. That since we've been in school, we know how Tourette's works. But apparently some people are just that fucking retarded that they don't get it. You don't get to police how black people react to racism. Also, John Davidson is racist and his Tourette's is not an excuse. Fuck him. This has 18,000 likes, by the way. Calling black men the N-word is racism. If John has corpulalia and can't control the slurs, he should watch from a separate area, not in the main audience where black people are exposed to slurs. A lot of just pure idiocy from a lot of black Twitter after that event. But we're going to focus on a white woman. We're going to focus on Grace Randolph, fellow YouTuber beyond the trailer. Grace Randolph has been in the movie review, movie news industry for a very, very, very long time. And she has some of the worst takes imaginable. And usually we just kind of scroll by and forget them because it is what it is. However, today is not that day because she made such a complete and utter fool of herself in this desperate effort to, I don't know, be the savior to black people, to protect black people from racism, which apparently is people with Tourette's saying things they can't control. Tourette's means no filter, which means this man thought it despicable. The BAFTAs out here making fools of themselves and the entertainment industry. And this is how it started, because Grace Randolph tweeted this out and got annihilated. Got completely annihilated, got community noted, because she basically just said that this man, who is there because they made a movie about him, he was invited to the award ceremony. The BAFTAs told everybody, they made announcements about that had someone with Tourette's was in the audience and to maybe expect some things to be shot. They knew it. And this is about Hollywood, about embracing diversity and equity and inclusion and making sure that people, marginalized communities, feel accepted and safe. That's what the industry's been about. That's what they're pushing. And that's why this man was there. That's why this movie was made. And that you have people like Grace Randolph and so many others. But we're going to focus on Grace because it did not go well for her. After she got annihilated in her own comments section, then she says, okay, let's settle it. And decides to put out a poll on how we should segregate people with disabilities. In hindsight, how should the BAFTAs have handled Mr. Davidson attending? He should have been there the whole show. He should have only been there for the red carpet in the category, or just the red carpet. So Grace Randolph puts out a poll on how we should segregate people in an effort to defend the black community. I'm not making this up. This is actually what's happening. This is actually what's going on. And Grace Randolph had spent the past 24 hours or so talking about this and streaming about this. And she had the audacity to put this out here after her stream. I'm honored to lead a constructive conversation about John Davidson, the man with Tourette's, Michael B. Jordan, Delroy Lindo, and BAFTA on today's live stream. Well, it's interesting that you would tweet that out and be proud of it, because Grace's live stream, we're going to play a couple clips from this thing. Grace's live stream, I don't know if you could call it all that constructive unless you like seeing more down votes than up votes. 4.5 thousand dislikes to 1.4 thousand likes. Grace Randolph got absolutely annihilated. And then she decided to take it out on someone else, to try to change the criticism, to try to change the conversation, and decided to attack the most toxic YouTuber she knows, and that is Gary from Nerdrotic. Grace Randolph attacks Nerdrotic as her meltdown continues in wake of BAFTA Tourette's incident. Entertainment commentator Grace Randolph is facing escalating backlash after attacking YouTuber Nerdrotic while defending her own controversial remarks about a man with Tourette's syndrome. The situation's quickly snowballed across social media, with Randolph's post drawing heavy scrutiny and multiple community notes. And yes, like, she has tried to shift this entire narrative around it. Like, about John Davidson, I've been thinking and listening to your responses. While Mr. Davidson shouldn't be bullied, a lot of you are acting as if he not only can't control his offensive tics, but as if he has no idea he even has them. You aren't listening to shit, Grace Randolph. You're not listening to shit. And that is obvious and self-evident. And this is where she decided to go after Gary. Gary's not the only one that's been making fun of her. The entire world's been making fun of her because she's on the wrong side of this. Her argument is that by a man with Tourette's shouting the N-word, it encourages more people to be racist. I hate to break it to you, Grace, but a man with Tourette's shouting the N-word is not going to cause more people to be racist. In the same way that if somebody with Down syndrome walked up on stage and pissed their pants, it wouldn't encourage more people to piss their pants. Okay? You know what will cause more racism? When people are bullying the fuck, woke white women and black people specifically, are bullying the fuck out of a dude with a mental condition because you got upset that he did the thing that people with Tourette's do. When you see black people that are claiming this is racism and saying that this guy should have the shit kicked out of him, when you have black people or woke white women claiming that this dude thought those things and that's what's in his heart and he should be canceled and he should be segregated from the rest of the world, that will create more racism. So ironically, Grace Randolph, you are taking more a part of that in the creation of more racism than a man with Tourette's did. This is why John Davidson's uncontrollable but unfortunate action and intentional lack of apology for using that word on a global stage is an issue. Now you've got toxic channels like this one using it to promote their own hate and biases. I don't know what it's like over in the UK, but this is a serious issue in the United States. And this is Gary and Gary's video he did on this topic. Now, all you got to do is go down in the comments and you can see there's Jeremy completely and totally ratioed her, Disbrew ratioed her. Everyone is basically ratioing her in the comments. She's getting wrecked, understandably so, especially because this clip, the heart of that clip, is basically this sentiment from Gary. The entertainment industry loves to talk about how they are champions of empathy and acceptance. Y'all just had the biggest test of your lives to prove this with what happened at the BAFTAs, and you failed miserably and completely, proving what most of us generally think you're all full of shit. And that's the reality. This movie, by the way, the actor won an award for this movie, won the Best Actor award over a lot of very well-named actors. Robert Aramayo won. And they had him there as a virtue signal, effectively, to show how much they accept people who are marginalized, people with disabilities, all this other stuff. And yet, the person that you have there to show how much he's accepted does what his mental condition causes him to do throughout the ceremony, not just the N-word. Over and over and over again, this happened because he has Tourette's. And that's what happens, especially in stressful situations. And you have a lot of people in the entertainment industry absolutely shitting all over this dude and making him probably want to kill himself, which is what happens a lot of the times to people with Tourette's. So Grace Randolph decided to stream about this after she made a fool of herself. And obviously she got completely and totally demolished. The comment section is hellish for Grace Randolph. There's no doubt. And we're just going to play a few select clips from this. All right. A few select clips about how tough this has made Grace Randolph's life after she took part in bullying and trying to cancel a dude who has Tourette's.
I would think that Mr. Davidson would feel just horrible that he made anyone feel bad. I don't understand why he doesn't. Although I think...
Did you hear that? I don't understand why he doesn't feel bad. It's not like one of the first things that happened was he released a statement about how terrible he feels and how mortifying it is for anyone to think that he can control this, because that's what his fucking disability is all about, right? Oh my God, dude. Grace Randolph is so fucking retarded. I appreciate the announcement of the auditorium in advance of the recording, warning everyone that my tics are involuntary and not a reflection of my personal beliefs. I was heartened by the round of applause that followed this announcement and felt welcomed and understood in an environment that would normally be impossible for me. In addition to the announcement by Alan Cumming, the BBC, and BAFTA, I can only add, I am and always have been deeply mortified. If anyone considers my involuntary tics to be intentional or carry any meaning, I've spent my life trying to support and empower the Tourette's community and to teach empathy, kindness, and understanding from others. And I will continue to do so. I chose to leave the auditorium early into the ceremony as I was aware of the distress my tics were causing. That information was freely available by the time Grace Randolph decided to live stream about this, just for the record. And she slips that in there, that I think he would be more, feel terrible about it. I don't understand why he doesn't. Go fuck yourself. Let's start over.
I would think that Mr. Davidson would feel just horrible that he made anyone feel bad. I don't understand why he doesn't. Although I think he's had a really hard life. And I think that's something else that maybe people should think about, and maybe Mr. Davidson should think about and look inward on and wonder if maybe the hard life that he's had has maybe understandably closed him off to the pain and suffering of others. No one's pain and suffering trumps someone else's pain and suffering.
Holy fuck. And this is what happened when you play this like intersectional bullshit, when everyone's trying to climb over each other to see who's more oppressed than somebody else. And for a second, black people thought they weren't the biggest victims in the world, right? And they had to make sure they knew, hey, I know that guy's got a mental disorder. I know he's got a mental condition, but we are really the ones most affected by that. And Grace Randolph hopped right on that train because she is and always has been a woke lunatic. So this is her just doing what she thinks she's supposed to do, not actually thinking about what she's fucking saying. And this is all as the dude, by the way, has already put out this statement of how mortified he felt. And also, for the record, He had already apologized to Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo. He had already reached out to the studio in the aftermath of this happening. And people were like, why don't you put out a public apology? Shut the fuck up. He didn't need to apologize for anything, but he did reach out to the studio to apologize to them before any woke white women or black people on Twitter were asking him to. Isn't that strange? Right? Since the fallout, Davidson's team shared that he's reached out to the studio handling Sinners in order to directly apologize to Jordan Lindo and the production designer Hannah Beekler. I mean, this is insane from Grace. But just to make sure that we know what she's worried about, you know, John Davidson, your Tourette's, your tics, and the thousands and thousands of people out there that have wanted you dead or wanted to cancel you because of this, that are blaming you a racist. You know who's really most affected? Grace Randolph.
I feel like there would be bad actors. I just feel it's an extremely bad situation. And I worry as a woman, not only in solidarity with other groups, but for women as well, that what kind of language does this let in? You know, I was tweeting about it earlier today and people said some of the most disgusting stuff about me. I mean, they were just looking at it an excuse to say something bad about me. And this, unfortunately, Mr. Davidson needs to realize that he created the opportunity for that.
It's the man with a mental disorder's fault that Grace Randolph said something stupid and then people called her stupid. That's what this woman is saying. That's what Grace Randolph is saying, that it's the man with a mental disability, with a mental disorder, a mental condition, a man with Tourette's doing things he cannot control. He is the reason for my pain and suffering because I'm a woman. Grace, I'm all about equal opportunity, okay? I respect women. So if you do something retarded, I'm going to call you retarded just like I would a man, okay? Do you like that? Do you like me treating you equally? Do you love the equality there? That's how I live my life. What can I say? I care about equality. I care about femininity and females, right? So I am going to treat you exactly the same way that I would treat a stupid man. I'm going to insult them. That's what happened to you, Grace Randolph. The stream was nonsensical. It was essentially what I gathered from it, what I gathered from watching it was that Grace feels like a man with Tourette's screaming the N-word. No mention of all the other shit that he screamed the entire time, right? 10 other outbursts that he had. But a man screaming the N-word gives the excuse to people that saying it is okay. I don't think there's too many people out there that see a man with a condition scream the N-word and try to make the argument, hey, you know what? Yes, everyone should call Michael B. Jordan that up on stage. I don't think that happened. I think this is something you've created in your brain, or you got so deep down this hole you didn't realize when you should say, you know what? I'm getting fucked up. I should probably stop this. And then she went on to virtue signal about the N-word and how it is the most despicable, horrible word and never, ever, ever, under any circumstances from anyone should it ever be used. It's weird she didn't, I don't know, talk about the black community using that. It's weird that wasn't a part of your shtick, Grace, but apparently this is something she's changed her mind about a little bit. Perry Chan clipped this together. And, you know, back in the day, she's been on social media and YouTube a long time. Back when Django came out, you would assume, considering they used the N-word over 100 times in that movie, she found it despicable because that's the most horrible word in the world, regardless of who's using it. By the way, I think Michael B. Jordan said that word 19 times in the movie Sinners. So you must have been horrified to watch that movie, right, Grace? Well, this is how she felt, what she said on stream versus how she felt about Django when it came out.
Is you have to understand what a slippery slope is to allow this word under any circumstances. There are no circumstances under which this word or any word like it can be said.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Get that out of here.
Quentin Tarantino unleashes yet another revenge fantasy flick.
They ain't never seen no no horse before.
You and your come out right now with your hands over your head.
It's one of my favorite films of the year. I would recommend anyone go see it. It's very funny.
We're gonna whoop that lover to death. We gotta kill him over that hill there. Get that out from under that wagon. And get that lover out of the wagon.
And I really appreciate the way it so starkly deals with the issue of slavery.
Now move.
It's weird you love that movie. I'm not going to play the whole thing. It's weird you love that movie so much, Grace, when it's just the most despicable thing that could ever be said. Look, I get it when you're somebody that has a big platform, and Grace has almost 1 million subscribers. right? Grace has been doing YouTube for a very, very long time, and she has her fan base. When you have this big platform, you have a big following, whatever, maybe you can get locked into this idea that, oh, I'm just right, and all these other people are just coming after me and attacking me. But what she tried to do was completely deflect this and blame Gary from Nerdrotic and say, this is what happens. A man says the N-word with Tourette's, and then toxic people take advantage of it. And she did all this other shit as well. Look at this. After she said something stupid, she reposts this person. I feel worse for people who have debilitating mental illnesses than sub-IQ people who become violent when they hear a word they don't like. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nerdrotic fan in a nutshell. By the way, this guy, and Jeremy actually called it out first, this guy did not follow Gary. He followed Grace. Now, I think she blocked him after that and he unfollowed her. That account didn't follow Gary. She just said that's a Nerdrotic fan. No, that's somebody who follows you, Grace. Now, just because they follow you doesn't necessarily mean that they're a fan or they agree with everything you say, and I don't think that that should be held against you necessarily. But you're trying to say, whoa, that's a Nerdrotic fan there. Look at this shit. It's all pathetic. And at the end of the day, all of this shit has been pathetic. Because the entertainment industry for years has been pushing DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, uplifting marginalized voices. You made a movie about a marginalized person who has a mental disorder. And it was celebrated, and they clapped for him. They cheered for him. They said, look at how welcome you are. And then they got uncomfortable because of his mental condition. And they tried to ostracize him. They tried to cancel him. They tried to say that he's fucking racist. It's disgusting and it's despicable. And ironically, that's what the entire movie's about how how this dude's life has been because of this condition he has. Unfortunately, the worst disability that anyone can have is to be fucking woke, is to be deranged. And yes, I know woke has its origins decades and decades and decades ago. Do you know what it means now? Because we've really run out of problems. It means desperately looking for oppression or racism or this or that anywhere you possibly can. And that is exactly how you lead yourself into a position like Grace Randolph has found herself in, where you're sitting there and you are shitting all over and bullying and blaming somebody who has a mental disorder because you think that black people should be offended by this word and it's your job to defend them, even though this guy can't help it. And you had been one of the people leading the bullying against him. That, I could imagine no worse disability than to be a woke white woman. That was a long one there. That's going to be clipped out for like a 20-minute fucking thing. Holy shit. WWW. Is YouTube chat still fucking around? That was the longest video. It was. I was just in the zone, guys. I was in the zone. I'm sweating a little, though. Sweating like Grace Randolph on that live stream, seeing that she's getting absolutely annihilated. Woo! That's a good one. Had to slap your wife? Well, I don't know if she deserved it or not, but my tweet was brilliant. You need a rant shoot after that one. A shot? I do need a shot. You're not wrong. Was it? This was my tweet. I decided not to include it in my video because I already said what I needed to say about Grace. Fucking Grace, I truly assumed you would have more empathy for people with disabilities, considering that you're fucking retarded yourself. I can't believe that got 6,000 likes. I thought it'd get 2. I thought I'd get 2. Fuck, man. Collage says I can't super chat, sent by other means. Other means, Kohlhauser. What are the other means? Everything's so fucked up. All right. Over on the Rumble side, Herbert for a buck. Could Targaryen monster babies and insanity be from outbreeding instead of inbreeding? It only becomes prominent after they start mixing with non-Valyrian bloodlines, i.e. Valyrians and Baratheons. I don't know. What I would say is that we don't actually have what I would say is we don't actually have a great history of Targaryens before really like Aegon's conquest. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of tough to tell. And I mean, maybe look, I don't think that either of Aegon the Conqueror's children are actually his. I think both Aenys and Maegor are not his children. YouTube's deleting chats like crazy. It's something weird that's going on. It's something weird that's going on. Okay, gotcha, Kohlhauser. Let me see if I can find it. All right, Kohlhauser for $10 says can't super chat for some reason. I don't know what's going on, man. YouTube's going through like some weird thing right now. I think it's gotten better as we've gone through the stream, but thank you, Kohlhauser, for that. And then if you guys do, if super chat's not working for you, you can use the link at the top of the description, or I think I pinned the comment for the Streamlabs. You can do that as well, or over on Rumble, wherever. I appreciate all the support, guys, and I'm sorry the stream's weird right now. Ronan for $1, not a trick, just asking a question. Hola, Ryan. Pedazo de mierda. Tu pelo se ve muy gay hoy. Dave Filoni es tu peluquero. Something about, doesn't mierda mean dead? Is that muerta? I don't know. Dave Filoni is a cocksucker, if that's what you're asking. I can see them. But we do have some. I see it, Jeremy. So I do see some people sent some super chats, and like I see the super chats. The problem is some people are not able to send them. That's what's going on. I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I do see the ones that you guys have sent in. But some people are not able to for some reason. I don't really get it. GraphWeb, for fuck's sake, cancel Disney Plus. Thank you, GraphWeb. Shout out. Robert Hayes, Donde Estas Jurassic Park? Yeah, I don't know why when I typed in English, it would not let me post anything. When I typed in Spanish, it went through. So Tommy Campari. Yeah, I'm typing on my phone and looking on my TV and only Spanish words are showing. The fuck? Smegs heads for 2. El Coringo is Elaro Mustasaks Tua Be him. I don't know what that means, but thank you, Smeg heads. Omar Bar's music for 199. Yo, where's the bathroom at up in this bitch? Thanks, Omar. Wigor for $2. Listen carefully. I think he gave me a shout out. I think it was a little different, but maybe I think it might have been your cousin. Your cousin Nick. Ryan's I don't need Tourette's to say it tax. Well, I will not be saying it ever on a live stream or recorded by anyone. If that's specific enough. Ryan's British girlfriend for 199. Who the fuck is that stupid blonde woman? Who the fuck is this stupid blonde woman? Thank you. Sorry, haven't been to see you lately. Passport's all hung up. It's weird. Smegheads for 5. Can't believe I needed to add the words for my soup to go through. What the fuck? How crazy. How crazy. Grace Randolph's gay hitman for 2. My boss is innocent. She's just tarded. You feel a kinship, huh? Is that what you're saying? You feel a kinship. Might be a YouTube Super Chat USA thing. I'm not from there. Now you're speaking Italian. It's funny if you just put like A's on everything, it's basically Italian. I'm not from there. Doge Pal for 2. Sticks and stones break your bones. Words should not. Well, look, do I think that responding to violence because of a word is too much in general? Yeah, I do. Regardless of the situation, regardless of who says it. But look, do I think it would have been okay for me to go up there if I was at the BAFTA Awards to stand up in the middle of the auditorium with nothing wrong with me? Well, I don't know about nothing wrong with me, but nothing that makes me scream profanities other than my own heart and scream the N-word at black presenters? No, of course not. But it's a little different, isn't it? The Jabroni big time for 5. She likes being called out. Makes her feel like a victim. That's a win for people like her. If you were watching her live stream, which I watch from, I am subscribed to Grace. I don't watch her all that often, but maybe from time to time, I do. And she was fucking rattled. She was rattled by this. I think because she thought that she was going to be in the vast majority when it came to this thing. You know? Our friend Tanner is here. Tanner! This channel is full of hatred and toxicity. All you do is complain and make fun of people. I cannot tell you how many hours and hours and hours and hours I've spent over the past 6 weeks talking about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Now, to be fair to your comment, maybe not so much on this channel. Over on Gary's channels, when we've been doing 4-hour reviews for 30-minute episodes of Night of the Seven Kingdoms. And I would say about 85 to 90% of that discussion is based on pretty effluent praise and how much we love it. So I've spent a lot of my time lately talking about something that I truly, truly loved. So maybe you're just seeing what you want to see, Tanner. Just like when you look down and you look at the fucking crevice that used to be your cock before you decided you were trans and pretend you were going to use these pronouns, blah, 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 and you got your dick cut in half and fucking shoved up inside you with this little hole that you need to fucking dilate every day so that wound, the gaping wound that you call your vagina, doesn't close. In the same way that you're seeing something and pretending like it's there, maybe that's what's happening when you're looking at this channel, Tanner. Maybe, just maybe. It's possible. It's possible. Maybe even likely. Seems like YouTube is fine for me now. Grace is a moron. Yes, she is. Take her for 2. I can't super chat. You lie. You lie. David Smart Jr. for 2. Grace Randolph is a pile of garbage. She's very stupid. Angst Kitten for 5. What do you think about the allegations that the BAFTAs left the racial slur in on purpose despite editing out Free Palestine? So you want to know what I think about that? I think that it was on about an hour delay. I think the taping versus the airing of it. I think that they didn't know what was said. That's what I think. Because let's listen to this again. Let's listen to this again. If I did not tell you that a man with Tourette's screamed the N-word, I don't think you'd really be able to make this out, if I'm being honest.
Part of movie making.
It's relatively soft. It's kind of echoey in there. Unless I told you what you were looking for, I don't think most people, and maybe not even the people that were airing it at the time, that were looking at this and like deciding what's edited out, what not, I don't think that they realized that's what he said, quite frankly. That to me seems a little bit more believable than they really just wanted to have the N-word aired live. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like to me. That's what it feels like to me. I think it was on like an hour tape delay, right? So the event was still going by the time they were airing some stuff. All right, where did I leave off? Pre-Dawn Corpse. Pre-Dawn Corpse says, Ryan, Funglui, Mongolnoth, Cthulhu, Rilia, Waganago, Fatagan. What am I saying? What am I saying? Strong opinions for 2. Halloween idea for you. Sir Ryan of Bigotry. Like Sir Arlen of Pennytree. We might have something in common. So I could think about that. Sir Ryan of Bigotry. Okay. Okay. You said the N-word in Japanese. I summon a demon. I don't know what the fuck I said. Mad Dog wins first Harry Potter stream. Also, you should read the Red Rising series by Pierce Brown. You'd like it. Sci-fi. First book is kind of young adult Hunger Games, but it gets really good. 7 out of 6 books out right now. Pierce Brown. Red Rising series. Let me look. Red Rising by Pierce Brown is a fast-paced, action-packed dystopian space opera. Okay. I'll keep that in my search history there. The first Harry Potter stream, tune in first week of March. First week of March, which is not very long from now, by the way. Not very long from now, for the record. TJ, 16, ¿por qué eres gay? Why are you gay? Thank you, TJ. Cole Hauser, let's see if it works. Grace has me blocked. Mortal Kombat looks sick. She doesn't have me blocked. To be honest, this is the only time I've ever interacted with Grace. I think this is the first time I have ever, to my knowledge, this is the first time that I have ever retweeted, replied, anything like that to Grace Randolph. And it's probably my last. I just thought it was something that needed to be said, you know. Sprechen Sie Deutsch, YouTube? I think they do. It's working. It's working, says Cole Hauser. Yeah, what the fuck? She hikey like you, Ryan? Grace? Maybe. Some women want to be yelled at. They want you to be assholes to them. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. I could never actually confirm that, but yeah, reportedly. Ash and Rose became a channel member. Thank you, Ash and Rose. Cash Kester, what's up, Cash? Good to see you, man. I saw your super chat the other day and thought I hadn't seen Cash in a while. What's up, man? David Smart Jr. for 5. Ryan, can you give a shout out to The Smart Review? My channel is here because of the fellowship. Go check out David Smart's channel, The Smart Review. Do you do drunk reviews? You always seem like you're drunk when you come in here, David Smart. You always seem like you're here. They completely missed the boat with the Harry Potter shit, my guy. What, the TV show? The TV show, no. I mean, that's not what we're doing. We're doing the books. And I guess we are a little late to do those book reviews, huh? They've only been out for 30 fucking years. But we're going over the books chapter by chapter. Our stream is going to be called Filthy Mudbloods. That's going to be our Harry Potter stream. Catholic Game Dev for $5. Caught up on all the Stargrift episodes. Hope y'all do one again one day. You and Mahler were great together. Theory was fun too. Yeah, I mean, what is there Star Wars wise to fucking get excited about, you know? Thank you. I mean, I do appreciate it. You know what really pisses me off? What really pisses me off is that Mahler missed our the final episode review for Night of the Seven Kingdoms. That really bothered me. That really pissed me off. I mean, I'm sorry that he's sick or whatever. It sucks. It's never fun being sick, but what the fuck, Mahler? Come on. I like being on streams with Mahler when we can talk about stuff that we like, also that we hate. But yeah, especially because I feel like I bullied Mahler a little bit into reading all the Dunk and Egg books. Even though he can't read. Ryan, you talked about on Real BBC. What does that have to do with me, Angst Kitten? I'm not on that stream. I'm talking about for me. It pisses me off because I wanted him there to talk about it. I'm not on Real BBC. But no, he was sick, so that is what it is. I do understand, but also it pisses me off. Garcia. Ryan, are you going to condemn what John Davidson said? Why are you people like this? What he said was disgusting. I don't care. You stupid, miserable fuck. I just recorded like 20 minutes of me bitching about Grace Randolph, bitching about stupid black people who are fucking saying that it's racist and trying to murder this guy and get this guy canceled and all this shit. And all along the way, I said, obviously, if I were to go up and say the N-word, that wouldn't be appropriate, right? This man has Tourettes. In the same way that he will go to an airport and scream, I have a bomb, or be talking to police and say that he's committing crimes, or go to the queen and say, fuck the queen, or call a woman a cunt or a slut and get his ass fucking beat for it because people don't understand that he can't control this shit. It's what his entire movie's about. You people, do you mean white people? Do you mean that because we're not perpetually victimized because we're the only ones that don't have this fucking hive mind thing that maybe we actually should start having? If everybody else is just going to have it anyway, maybe we should, Garcia, you stupid twat, you stupid fuck. I don't know what you are. I don't know if you're black. I don't know if you're white. I don't know if you're gay. I don't know if you're Mexican. I don't know if you got a disability other than just being fucking retarded. But in no way is anyone who's coming to the defense of a man with a disability saying that it would be acceptable for me to go to the BAFTAs and scream that word. No one's making that fucking argument. I'm not going to condemn. Oh my gosh. Oh, the fucking horror. The horror that a man with a disability does things that men with disabilities do. It would not have been appropriate to fucking say that for me or for anybody else. But for someone with Tourette's, it's what they do. Is it offensive when your grandmother, if she had Alzheimer's, she probably would never talk to you because you're a piece of shit. She probably disowned your dumb ass when you came out as gay or trans or whatever the fuck you are. Would it be offensive to you if your grandmother with Alzheimer's forgot your birthday? Would you be offended and fucking heartbroken by that? No, because that's what that disease is. In the same way, this is what happens to people who have Tourette's. They say the worst possible things, the most taboo things, especially in stressful situations. That man did not need to apologize. He spent his entire life apologizing. Yet he did nonetheless. He did apologize. And it's sad that there's, honestly, we need a fucking plague that only wipes out people with, I don't know, room temperature IQs and below. Honestly, maybe even 90 and below. The world would be such a better fucking place if that happened. Unfortunately, I don't think that's coming in the near future. You definitely go out the door with them, though. You stupid piece of shit. You fucking retard. It's disgusting that a man with Tourette's yelled a slur. No, it's not. Because these aren't equivalent things. This isn't me going out on the street and yelling the N-word at a black person. There's nothing to condemn. Ironically, you people are all about tolerance and acceptance. This is a dude. This is your time to step up and show that you actually mean that shit. This is a dude who's lived a miserable life. This is a dude who will see women on the street and yell slut or cunt because he can't control it and get his ass kicked and beat nearly to death and end up in the hospital for it. That's this dude's life. The person who needs empathy, unironically, is the dude that you're trying to fucking bully the fuck out of. Now, I'll bully you all day long because I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about really anybody. But it's the hypocrisy coming from the wokies. The hypocrisy coming from these fucking people out there. Are you going to condemn that word? Yeah, it wouldn't be appropriate if I went out there and said it. The fuck are you talking about? You stupid piece of shit. I quite frankly, I am a very hateful person. I am an extremely hateful person. Not just because somebody's black, not just because somebody's gay, not just because somebody's trans. I hate stupid people. I fucking despise stupid people with every fiber of my being. Luckily, I don't think stupidity is a protected class. Anyway, where are we? Here we go. Tommy for $2 says, "Stop raping, sir." Yeah, stop raping, sir. It's one of the first lines. Electrifying for $5. It's not like he was Bruce Willis with sandwich boards walking across the audience in Die Hard 3. BAFTAs were live in the UK, by the way. There you go. So it was a tape delay here and live on the BBC, probably. David Smart Jr. for 10. I'm so drunk. I'm watching Scream 7 tomorrow. Better not suck. I'll be pissed, Ryan. Ryan, yeah is awesome. If I ever meet you and people say yeah is toxic, I'll tell them to piss off. Well, thanks, David. Thank you, David Smart. I think that I mean, I can't say I'm interested in Scream 7. Like, how many of these do we need? You know? How many of these do we need? I didn't know it was coming out yet. I thought it was another week or two, but maybe. Hugo for $5. Is it gay if, as I bake unicorn-shaped cookies dipped in honey, I turn around and grab my friend's ball sack? Yeah, it is. If you're making unicorn-shaped cookies, I don't know what the honey part is about. Maybe you're making them for a specific thing, but all you need, like the ball sack thing, if you turn around and grab your friend's ball sack, yeah, it's in the gay category. That's gay, Hugo. Bring back Stargriff for Mando and Grogu or Ahsoka too. You never know. Zero Taste Gaming, thoughts on the Street Fighter movie? I was excited until I looked on IMDb and saw it was written by one of the geniuses behind Captain America 4. I can't say that I can't say that I'm really cared too much about Street Fighter. Ironically, I just watched the original like Mortal Kombat movie from 1995 the other day. I'll probably watch Mortal Kombat Annihilation maybe after the stream or something as I'm doing shit. But yeah, I don't know. Cash, I've been around lurking, renewing some memberships that lapsed when I got a new card. I'll definitely see you down in Orlando. Hell yes, Cash. For people that don't know, we've got a big meetup in Orlando. We got a big meetup Saturday, March 21st. So that is quickly approaching. And if you go to the Geeks and Gamers website, if you haven't yet, you can RSVP for it. So yeah, it's all centered around Orlando MegaCon. So go check it out. I'll see you there, Cash. John Gets Gaming for 2. Bully Mauler and read him some Star Wars EU. I don't know if I can get him to do that. I don't know if I can get him to do that. Ronan for $1. Ryan, you queer. Halloween talk in advance is cool. But how about that Japan trip that's around the corner? You immerse yourself in any Japanese pop culture yet? No, I'm not going to like turn into a Japanese person. I'm going to be an American in Japan. Ryan Kinel, is the meetup only the Geeks and Gamers crew? No, that wouldn't be much of a meetup, would it? That wouldn't be much of a meetup. The meetup's available to anybody that wants to go. We are doing this for free. All you have to do, you do have to go and RSVP a spot just so we know how many people to expect, but it's going to be at Universal City Walk at a bar/restaurant called Pat O'Brien's. It's going to start at around 7 p.m. Eastern and go till, I don't know, 11 midnight, something like that. So yeah, it's going to be Geeks and Gamers. People are going to be there. Gary's going to be there. Critical Drinker is going to be there. Rip is going to be there. There's going to be a lot of motherfuckers there. There's going to be a lot of motherfuckers. You know what? I am going to prepare for my trip to Japan, Ronan. I'm going to watch every Pokemon series that I haven't watched yet. How about that? How about that? Justin Martins, is your heart 3 sizes too small because the extra material went your forehead? Possibly. That could be the case, honestly. BMCCB, member for 37 months, can't super chat tax. Thank you, BMCCB. Catholic Game Dev for 5. Your hair's adding a minimum 3 inches, which is a lot to your height right now. Yeah, I mean, if I had 3 inches, I'd be 6'1". It is rather poofy today, isn't it? It can go more. It's rather thick. Look at that. Let's try to get it down a little bit. I'm not Ghostface. Are you sure? That sounds like something Ghostface would say. That sounds like something Ghostface would say. PC Gaming Guru for 20. Most of us U.S. veterans have zero tolerance for stupid motherfuckers, Ryan. You're in good company, bro. It depends, man. I met some stupid motherfuckers when I was in the military. I'm sure you did too. Some stupid motherfuckers. But thank you for the support, PC Gaming Guru. I appreciate it, man. Shout out to you. I think we're good on that side. Mark Hancock for 10. What's your favorite item in Gary's doll collection? I'm gonna be real. I don't I don't admire Gary's like action figure collection as like in terms of I don't go there and look through every single one and be like, oh my gosh, I want this. He does have that Superman thing in there, which is pretty fucking cool. But I couldn't even tell you all the shit he has in there, so I couldn't tell you what my favorite thing is. You just like I get overwhelmed. Like when you go in there to look at it, you just get overwhelmed with all this shit. His Lord of the Rings stuff is cool. How long did he serve? Says Buckeye Knight. I was in 11 years. I joined August of 2010 and I got out, officially got out September of 2011. I got like 2 months of terminal leave, which was nice. Ryan, thanks for making me laugh. My friend. Wait. Hold on. Ryan, thanks for making me laugh. My friend offed herself. I'm pretty sad. It's no wonder you're drinking all the time, David. 2026 is a rough year so far. I miss her. My friend Nicole knew more horror than me. That sucks, David Smart. I'm really sorry to hear that, man. I am very sorry. And yeah, when bad shit happens, everybody needs to laugh, you know? 100%. Robert Hayes for 5. Let's get serious sort of for a moment. Do you remember how crazy Glove of Darth Vader series was? It had fembots before awesome powers. The Glove of it's like a children's like small like children's books, but the Glove of Darth Vader was insane. Yes, it was. John Gets Gaming. You already have anime hair. Watch anime already. Do I have anime hair? I sure can. Like, if I poof it up that way. You guys should like, if I just got it cut like a week ago. So once I grow it out a couple weeks, if I like flip it from like the way I usually put it, if I go like this, actually I might be able to do it now. This would be some anime hair. Look at this shit. This is anime hair. I could do something with that. You know? I could do something with that. But I look like an anime character from Bleach. See, I could do it. Meth's a hell of a drug. What does that have anything to do with meth? What is the fact that my hair is so fucking thick? You know what's funny? When I was younger, I tried to get a flat top because I loved Scottie Pippen. I love the Bulls. I love Scottie Pippen. I wanted a fucking flat top like Scottie Pippen rocked at one point. I tried it when I was really young. I had some wax and everything. The fuck product do you use? Did I even put anything in it? No, I did today. I have this like little like I think it's called like spider wax or something. Yeah. Pictures, please. I don't know if there's any picture. I don't know if I could find any pictures of me from that time. I was like in 5th grade or some shit. I was in like 5th grade. But yeah, that shit is whatever's in my hair now. It's pretty malleable, that's for sure. Do you want Scotty's old man dreads? Nah. I don't need those. I don't need to be Scottie Pippen anymore. I sure wasn't gonna get a Michael haircut. Jose Contreras, Ryan, for the Pokemon Cafe, book as early as possible, like right at the 31 day. And the new park at 60-day mark. Are they even letting you book the park if you're not a Japanese resident? Poke Park Kanto reservation. Purchase tickets, select date. January 26th. Oh, those are all fucking... They're only booking out till April right now. They're all sold out. They're all sold out on every fucking day, bro. How much is 10,000 yen? What is 10,000 yen in USD? 64? Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Electrifying for £5. If you rearrange the letters in Geeks and Gamers, it spells Dave Filoni's the savior of Star Wars. Discuss. Nerd shit. Yeah, nerd shit. Nerd shit. It's like I am Lord Voldemort. Dutchie for $5. How much money to get you to watch an anime chat decides on? I don't know, like 200 fucking bucks. I don't really like watching anime. Like 200 bucks. I'll watch whatever anime chat decides. Whatever the person who sends me 200 bucks, I'll watch that. Ryan wanted MJ Hitler stash from the Haynes commercials. Maybe. But the Pokemon Cafe, I guess I'll look into that. I'll look into that. Nerdrotics will send you $200. What, to watch One Piece live action? Death Note's good. I watched a couple episodes of Death Note. I think when it was on in like the Geeks and Gamers house at one point. Let's talk about Star Wars a little bit. You brought up Dave Filoni. Full Metal Alchemist, Fist of the North Star. No Star Wars. Sorry. We're going to talk Disney Star Wars. That Filonian 2 is insufferable. Bro, that is not even the Filonian 2. So maybe because it happened on FNT, but me and Jeremy have had this argument over and over again. It is one of the first things that Jeremy and I ever argued about. Oh, although at that point it was more just about Clone Wars and Rebels, I think, at the time, than it was about like Dave Filoni specifically. But I'm sure in that conversation I bitched about Dave Filoni. One of the first things we argued about was Clone Wars and Man of Steel. In a bar when there was about 8 or 9 people at the meetups back in the day instead of a couple hundred. Way back in the day. Way back in the day. But unfortunately, time has gone on and Dave Filoni has gotten more power and Dave Filoni continues to get promoted. Now Dave Filoni's the president of fucking Lucasfilm. And it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. But, you know, can always get worse. Holy shit. Dutchie just dropped a $200 bomb. $200. Says, okay, I get to decide the anime then. Let's decide. Chat, give me ideas. We'll choose an anime. That deserves a shot. So, all right, Dutchie. Now, we should have maybe like said some things. If this is like, I have to watch 6 seasons of this. I think what this should consist of is, hey, like 1 season of something. I think that's like kind of fair. Like, if it's like, hey, you have to watch all of Dragon Ball Z. I don't know if that's fair. So keep that in mind. But thank you for the $200 from Dutchie. That was a good shot, too. That was a shot and a half, I think. That was a shot and a half. All right, Dutchie. I will let you peruse the chat. While I talk about Disney Star Wars shit. I should actually. What the heck just happened? Escape. All right. I wanted to make sure I got to the right place there. And I think I did. All right. Let's talk about Disney Star Wars a little bit. If there's anything that Lucasfilm has proved, I said that kind of weird. If there's anything that Lucasfilm has proved over the past decade plus, is that just when you think it can't possibly get any worse for Disney Star Wars, it absolutely can. And with The Mandalorian and Grogu coming to theaters in less than 3 months, a lot of people think that this movie, there's really no interest in it. That there's really not a lot of people who are willing to go out to the movie theater to see the first Star Wars movie in theaters in 7 years. And the fans aren't the only ones who feel that way. Apparently, Disney feels exactly the same way. Disney execs worried Star Wars fans won't be satisfied by Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Well, won't be satisfied? That is almost a guarantee that they won't be satisfied. I think one of the real concerns is that they don't think anyone will show up to watch because, I mean, this is Disney. They don't care if people actually are satisfied or not. They just want the money. They just want the return from theaters or streaming service or whatever. But when it comes to Mandalorian and Grogu, it feels like 3 months out, there is effectively no hype for Star Wars return to theaters. And why would there be after the way that they've damaged this brand? But this all comes from a big article in Variety that is specifically about the new Disney CEO, Josh D'Amaro, and all the different challenges and hurdles that they're facing, all of these different things. What I thought was one of the most interesting things was when they specifically talked about some of their struggling franchises. And I love it that we're at a place now where the mainstream media has been forced to admit, despite them shilling for Marvel or Star Wars or whatever, that some of these brands are just damaged. They just are. They can't lie anymore. They've had to shift the way they speak about them because no longer can they just blame a couple outliers of fans for the bad reviews. No, these brands are inherently damaged. Some Disney staffers are concerned the unconventional 36-second Super Bowl spot for The Mandalorian and Grogu failed to spark excitement. So let's go to the section of this. This is their thing, by the way. Look at, there's Iger's first tenure. There's Chapek, whose head got knocked off his statue. Iger again, now Josh D'Amaro, who looks like a kind of demon or something. A little bit of Gavin Newsom energy, actually, from him. I wonder what he got on his SATs and if he thinks that he can read better than black people. I don't know. We'll have to listen for Josh D'Amaro to tell us what he thinks about that. But way, way, way down here, they're talking about some of the problems with Disney and some of the things that Josh D'Amaro is going to have to deal with. D'Amaro will have to focus on reviving everything from superheroes to the sci-fi series. Overall, the company has developed new franchises to maintain the flywheel effect that feeds into streaming in the theme parks. Marvel's definitely in a rut, Doug Kreutz says. They haven't had a Star Wars movie in more than 6 years, he says, while noting Mandalorian and Grogu is slated for a May release. Internally at Disney, there are concerns that an unconventional 36-second Super Bowl spot for The Mandalorian Grogu that featured the title characters riding a wagon pulled by tauntauns failed to generate the kind of excitement the marketing team was hoping to spark. The film itself is something of a question mark, given that it's based on a streaming series and consequently may not seem like a big screen proposition for any but the most diehard Baby Yoda lovers. What an indictment. There's a sense that Star Wars Starfighter, a spinoff from Deadpool and Wolverine director Sean Levy, is more likely to satisfy fans when it hits theaters next spring, with sources who have seen footage praising Ryan Gosling's performance and suggesting Levy has recaptured the franchise spirit of fun. Now, they then go into a bunch of other problems that Disney has, from Marvel to the Avatar franchise, the theme parks, on and on and on. But I specifically wanted to stay here and stick to Star Wars. Yeah, no shit that people at Disney are worried about The Mandalorian and Grogu. One, the last time we saw these characters, people finally woke up to the fact that this is dog shit, that this series is dog shit. It's written for kindergartners by kindergartners. And season 3 was an absolute travesty. Now, the writing in season 3 wasn't any worse than the writing in season 2. The difference was he didn't have big jangling keys that you could distract people with. right? The cameos weren't Luke Skywalker and Ahsoka and Boba Fett and all this other shit, right? Your cameos were Jack Black and Lizzo, which is why maybe it didn't work out so well. But when it comes to what they did for the Super Bowl, yeah, no shit, this didn't work. You spent $10 million to air an ad during the coveted Super Bowl time when you have upwards of maybe 130 million people potentially watching at that time. And this is what you gave us, something that got roasted and destroyed by the fans. And by the way, only got 3 million views on YouTube. And when you go to the traditional trailers for The Mandalorian, you go for the first one we got, which was 6 months ago at this point, 5 months ago, only at 12 million views, 166,000 likes, 61,000 dislikes. The last one that was released is also stalled out. That's at 10 million views. It's not really going to go much higher than that. It's been out for over a week now. And better like to dislike ratio. But we're talking about a Star Wars movie in theaters. The first time in 7 years that Star Wars is going to be released in theaters. And there seems to be little to no excitement. And I think it makes sense. I think that Disney has done such damage to this brand. Lucasfilm has done such damage to this brand, not just Mando and Grogu, the Star Wars name as a whole. And I don't think anyone is more to blame for that than the guy who is now co-president, Dave fucking Filoni. Dave Filoni has been involved with all these different creative decisions over the years. Kathleen Kennedy's gone now. So the people who are desperate to cling to this hope that Dave Filoni is going to save Star Wars when he's been doing exactly what he's wanted to do with Star Wars over the past several years, you now have no excuses, right? Kathleen Kennedy's gone. She had a huge hand in destroying all of this. There's no doubt about that. But if there's anyone who's equally responsible, it absolutely was the creative officer himself, Dave Filoni, who's had his hands in all these pies, from The Acolyte to Obi-Wan Kenobi to Mandalorian to Book of Boba Fett to his own show, Ahsoka, right? We have seen disaster after disaster. And Dave Filoni was in there for the planning of the sequel trilogy, by the way, which a lot of people want to ignore. Dave Filoni was the one who wanted to subvert masculinity with femininity in the Star Wars sequel trilogy. And if you watch most of his stuff, you'll realize that's kind of a huge thing that he likes to do in every single medium, in every project that he usually has his hands in. So it's not a surprise that there's no excitement for Mandalorian and Grogu. It is interesting that the media is talking about it this way and that people at Disney are just as worried as the fans when it comes to the realization that, yeah, you know what? Maybe this wasn't the best idea. At least it's the cheapest movie we've made because it might end up being one of the biggest bombs. Excuse me. Mav Miller for 199. Solo Leveling is amazing. I've heard it's good. I've heard people liked Solo Leveling. Mikey, the Harry Potter series director and showrunner confirmed season won't be 8 hours long. How do you get 8 hours from book one? I mean, the audiobooks for book one is probably 10 to 12 hours, right? I think you can absolutely get to 8 hours. My concern is what I would like for them to do. And I think you can just take a lot of time actually exploring the world and making Diagon Alley a massive. Look, in the movies, Diagon Alley was about a 5-minute scene, you know. You could really actually truly explore Diagon Alley and these different things, and you can explore Hogwarts and all of this shit and show so much of the the whimsical nature of it all. So I think they can do it. I think they can do it. But I didn't even know that that was like a reveal. I feel like we've known that for a year now. That is going to be 8 approximately hour-long episodes. Dutchy for 5. How many episodes are you willing to watch? Most great one-season anime are 24-ish episodes long. I mean, if they're 24 episodes and they're like short, like 20 to 30 minute episodes or whatever, man, I'll handle it. But, 24-hour long episodes is a lot. But I will leave it to your discretion. I'll leave it to your discretion, Dutchie, for $200. Mad Dog for $1. Fun fact, Daenerys is 50% Blackwood, 25% Dane, and 25% Targaryen. So it means Jon is part of House Dane through Maekar's wife, and Ned Edric Dane will give him Dawn Lightbringer, just my headcanon. Have you been watching some David Lightbringer, Mad Dog? Have you been watching some David Lightbringer? Maybe. Darth Ghostface for 2. You 100% destroyed Jeremy in that debate over Dave Filoni. The fact he glazes the guy who's been butchering Star Wars for Disney's proof he doesn't care about preserving George Lucas's creation. Well, thank you, Darth Ghostface. And then Ghostface says, Melvin's doing a special live stream in a few minutes. He'd appreciate if you're ready to stream here on Rumble once you wrap up. I will see if I can do that, Darth Ghostface. Thank you. Hope you have a good time. David Lightbringer's good stuff. He does. I described it. I described it like David Lightbringer's like the ancient civilization side of like ancient civilization and aliens people. You guys know who I'm talking about. The people Gary hangs out with, that's like David Lightbringer. Some really far out shit. That's really cool. And I do like, I listened to a David Lightbringer video today about Bloodraven. So I do listen to him from time to time, but it is like some far out there shit, It is some far out there shit. But this is what you get when George doesn't publish a book in fucking forever. Mad Dog not watching, just saw the thumbnail, was like, damn. I have not watched his I have not gone through the lineage and determined that Daenerys is 50% Blackwood yet. The reason I knew it is because I watched a Lightbringer video earlier today and he had mentioned that I think the Daenerys Blackwood connection in his video about Bloodraven. Who's a Blackwood? Mikey Gussler, you're right that they can show us more of Diagon Alley or Hogwarts, but with us knowing how Lucius Malfoy is in season 1, and they will focus on Draco Malfoy's home life, how well would they execute it? Oh, I don't think they'll have any, I think that I don't trust the stuff that they're going to add. 100% agree with you, Mikey. My thing is, I don't think you need to add anything. I think you could do 7 to 8 hours with the source material and maybe expand a few scenes, but we're talking about adding completely new shit that never existed. And that, it's like I said, look, I thought for Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the things specifically that they added, I probably liked about 85% of them overall. Most of the things they added. But I don't want them doing any of that shit for Harry Potter. Like Harry Potter is an actual fucking book. It's not a novella. I don't want to see Draco's home life. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Like, show us more random you can show classroom sequences and stuff like that in History of Magic. You can show transfiguration classes. You can actually show some good shit, I think, if you're going to add to it. But if you're talking about intricate character stuff, I don't trust them. When is Hot D season 3 coming again? In June sometime. Most of the chat wants you to watch Cowboy Bebop, which is amazing. So let's go with that. All right. Cowboy Bebop it is. Boom. Done. Cowboy Bebop English dub. I made Cowboy Bebop videos back in the day when that one bitch got cast and was upset about being sexualized or something, right? And then she had that photo shoot of her in lingerie. Yeah, I'll watch Cowboy Bebop. All right, Dutchie, you got a deal. You got a deal, Dutchie. Is going to be Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I made a Cowboy Bebop video. Let's look. Yeah, I think I did. Cowboy. Netflix gets more fan backlash. Cowboy Bebop. Faye Valentine actress blames fans. Oh yeah, this is it. Hold on. Look at this stupid thumbnail. Let me zoom in and see it. Netflix actress posed after attacking fans. I couldn't wear that. And then her in fucking bra and underwear. I guess she could wear that. It's stupid fucking suggestions for titles. Should maybe use these more often. Other than my fucking long titles. Mikey, I think what Warner Brothers should do is go into the film vault and put together series-long cuts of the Harry Potter films. You know, they filmed a lot of stuff. Why go to the trouble of making a series? I'm fine with them making a series, in theory. I like, in principle, I welcome the idea. Because they might have filmed a lot of stuff, but they did not film all of the books. You know, they didn't film everything. They didn't do everything. They didn't include all the characters. They didn't include all the plot lines. So I in a vacuum, in theory, I would have loved to see a true faithful adaptation of the book to the screen. It's why I'm enjoying the audiobook, the full cast audiobooks that they're doing so much, because that's really as close as we're ever going to get. You know? You know? Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Let me make sure we're good on this side. That's gonna be a long ass Grace Randolph video I'm gonna put out on my channel, isn't it? That's gonna be a long Grace Randolph video. But I do think that is gonna do it for me. I'm sorry that YouTube was weird today. I'm sorry that YouTube was weird today. I will get on watching Cowboy Bebop. Tanner, you got to try harder, dude. You got to try harder than this. That's too obvious that it's a troll. You gotta try harder. Because you can't possibly feel superior being a Canadian after the ass whooping we gave you at the Olympics. Come on. Come on. Oh, yes, I will watch Cowboy Bebop. I'll add it to my list, Dutchy. Thank you for the massive fucking super chat, you crazy motherfucker. You crazy motherfucker. Just to get me to watch anime. I do have a price. I can be sold, apparently. I'll sell myself to the Japanese for what is it? Ryan, read my insult to Tanner. Did you know Canada in Native American translates roughly to even gayer and more useless France? Probably. I know it might seem like I'm nitpicking, but I've been having my doubts about this show since day one. It seems like my instincts are correct every day. Well, yeah, I always said, Mikey, that like in theory, it would be awesome to have this. And look, you love the movies. None of what happens in this series should change the way you feel about the movies. You know what I mean? But yeah, sometimes we can't have nice things. Ryan, I sent you Cowboy Bebop DVD a while back. I think you did, Jesus, and I think I have it downstairs. So I guess I got to watch Cowboy Bebop. I guess I got to watch Cowboy Bebop. Finally. But that is going to be it for me today, guys. I know they're playing some fucking game on Geeks and Gamers tonight, so you guys can definitely go check that out. But I appreciate y'all. Thanks for being here. Sorry YouTube was all fucked up. It was all fucked up today. But that's it. I'm fucking beat for some reason. But yeah. Go check out MetaPC, RK Outpost. Use code RK Outpost for a discount. If you're not signed up for MegaCon, go check it out. Geeksandgamers.com. Click the banner. Fucking RSVP. Do your thing. And I'll be back on Geeks and Gamers Daily tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate y'all. I'll talk to you later. If this will play.